So after 12 years, the 2013 Ballon d'Or still remains one of the most controversial topics in football. And it's mainly because the Messi and Ronaldo fans are always at each other's necks. Ronaldo fans would argue that some of Messi's Ballon d'Ors aren't deserved, which we're going to talk about as well. But Messi fans' response to Ronaldo would be to point out the 2013 award, leading to this never-ending debate spiraling on 12 years later. But did Ronaldo really rob the 2013 Ballon d'Or? Well, Frank Ribery definitely thinks so. He's been throwing shades on social media ever since Ronaldo won it, and his most recent comments was an Instagram story laughing at Ronaldo's comments, saying the award should be given to the UCL winner. And in all fairness, he had every right to laugh because that's never been the case. When the Ballon d'Or was created, it was originally intended to be given to the best player in the world for that specific season. And it all came down to a combination of eye test, stats, and trophies won. But any one of these three can outweigh the others under the right circumstances. For example, in 2002, Brazilian Ronaldo won the award despite only having 7 goals and 2 assists in 16 appearances all season. But when it came to the World Cup, he scored in 6 of the 7 games he played, and had 2 goals in the finals, winning the World Cup with 8 goals and 1 assist. And this single tournament performance won him the Ballon d'Or, even though he didn't win any club trophies, nor was he the top scorer in Europe. Another example is Nedved winning it ahead of Thierry Henry in 2003. Nedved brought Juventus to the UCL finals and won the league, but Henry had a better individual year with 56 goal contributions. And this is just more evidence that one of the criterias can outweigh the other 2 under the right circumstances. And it also depends on the people who vote, so there can be biases at times. And speaking of bias, let's go back to 2013 because there is a big elephant in the room. Frank Ribery won the UCL, Bundesliga, and German Cup, all while putting up 34 goal contributions. But it's not just about the numbers. If you actually watch the games, you would have seen that Ribery was operating on a completely different level from regular players, and his level remained consistently exceptional even when he didn't score or assist. In the Champions League, he put on a man-of-the-match performance to knock out Barcelona with a humiliating 7-0 aggregate. He was actually world-class, and with all the stats, eye test, and trophies won, collectively you have to say that he deserved the title of UEFA Best Player in Europe. And like I said, he was operating on a completely different level from regular players. But Messi and Ronaldo aren't regular players, are they? When you have a guy like Messi who had 77 goal contributions that season, and Ronaldo who had 72, 2 guys who are genuinely better footballers than you are, it's kind of hard for you to beat them when they both have more than double the amount of goal contributions you do while playing better. But in Ribery's defense, there was something that FIFA did that was suspicious. FIFA decided to extend the voting deadline one day after Ronaldo's iconic hat-trick against Sweden to send Portugal to the World Cup. Like with R9 in 2002, we know how much weight anything associated with the World Cup holds, and people saw this as FIFA trying to give the award to Ronaldo. And there's 2 things that need to be addressed about this. The first is that the Ballon d'Or votes are usually cast for the previous season, meaning people should be voting from August 2012 to June 2013 and not beyond that. In a perfect world, there's no way the deadline extension should affect anything because Ronaldo's performance versus Sweden was in November 2013, so it shouldn't be a factor in the voting, which means that FIFA and France Football's decision to extend the voting due to a low number of received votes should be valid. But like I said before, the bias from people who vote can be a deciding factor as well, meaning that some people might have used his performance versus Sweden to make their votes. And this leads me to the second thing that needs addressing. If people base their votes on events that happened up to the very last day of voting, which obviously run into the other season, then it means that a lot of the Ballon d'Or voting decisions prior to this and those after it would have gone through the same thing. So this cannot be something only unique to 2013. And based on the numbers and the actual Ballon d'Or rankings, it would have been Messi who would have won the award if Ronaldo didn't win, not Ribery. As you can see, Messi had 72 more votes, and if we follow this narrative about Ribery being robbed, it would have been Messi who would have been the culprit if we remove the conspiracy of the voting deadline. So either way you look at it, the 2013 Ballon d'Or was one where all the other factors clearly outweighed that of trophies won. Speaking of, we need to talk about Messi in 2010 and Modric in 2018 for a bit. I think it's pretty well known that the World Cup plays a major role in the Ballon d'Or awards, as it's considered the most prestigious trophy in football. It acts like an X factor, where no matter the kind of season you had, if someone else wins the World Cup or performs exceptionally well in it, they suddenly have a real chance of beating you. But between just performing well in the tournament and actually winning the tournament, which do you think carries more weight? Well, this is where FIFA's inconsistency becomes clear. In 2010, Barcelona won 4 trophies. That season, Iniesta won the same number of trophies as Messi, and then went on to score in the World Cup final to make Spain world champions. Based on FIFA's usual World Cup bias, they probably should have given it to a World Cup winner. But if they had, I believe that would have been the wrong decision. As great as Iniesta was, he only managed 3 goals and 9 assists all season. Sure, you can argue that stats aren't everything, but if we go by the eye test, things look even worse for him because Messi was on a completely different level. Messi had 60 goal contributions and was by far Barcelona's best player. That made it easier for voters to judge, since Messi and Iniesta played on the same team, allowing for a direct comparison of their impact.
Messi! Who is the best player in the world. Stunning!
Unlike Ronaldo in 2002, Iniesta didn't have an overwhelmingly great World Cup, so the tournament's X factor wasn't enough to push him past Messi because the gap in talent and overall performance was too obvious. So I think FIFA got it right in 2010. But what about Modric in 2018? Like I had asked before, between winning the tournament and performing well in the tournament, which one holds more weight? Like Iniesta, Modric had underwhelming numbers with 5 goals and 9 assists for the season. However, it was 2 more goal contribution than Iniesta in 2010, and in the World Cup, he had the same goal tally as Iniesta with 2 goals. But unlike Iniesta, Modric was not in a strong team, and he played exceptionally well to make it to the finals of the hardest competition. So in this regard, you could say he was slightly more impressive than Iniesta from 2010. But at the end of the day, Iniesta won the trophy and Modric didn't. In that same year, Ronaldo managed 56 goal contributions, just 4 goal contributions less than Messi in 2010. But unlike Messi, he wasn't up against a tournament winner. He was up against a guy who finished second with identical numbers to Iniesta in 2010. And like I had mentioned, the reason why it was so easy to pick Messi over Iniesta was because they played on the same team, so it was easy to do direct comparison to see who was the better player. And by using this metric, it's clear Ronaldo was by far a better player than Modric. He had 15 UCL goals and was the main reason for Madrid's success. And unlike Messi, who didn't score in the World Cup in 2010, Ronaldo had the best individual performance at the World Cup with his hat-trick against Spain. But like Messi in 2010, Ronaldo won 4 trophies including the UCL and finished as top scorer. So if you were to put the stats side by side, Ronaldo and Messi both won 4 trophies. Messi had 60 goal contributions while Ronaldo had 54. Messi had 0 World Cup goals, but Ronaldo had 4. Iniesta won the World Cup and had 2 goals. Modric lost the tournament and had 2 goals as well. So based on these accurately unbiased statistics, if we use the same metric that Messi was judged on in 2010, it means Ronaldo should have easily won the Ballon d'Or in 2018. And it's not a debate. But this, my friend, is where FIFA's inconsistency and voting bias comes in. Ronaldo had left Spain to join Juventus, and I think that the politics with Madrid and FIFA ruined his chances. I think it's well known that Florentino Perez is a very influential figure in football, and it's evident from how he reacted when Vini Jr. was snubbed for Rodri last year. He felt that FIFA disrespected Madrid by not handing the award to his player. Another incident happened in 2013 when FIFA's president publicly mocked Ronaldo, and Perez went to the media and demanded an apology, which FIFA quickly complied with. This, my friend, is evidence that Perez's words holds weight, and in 2018, it's pretty much well known that Perez and Ronaldo fell out, leading to his exit to Juventus. And if you remember, in 2018, Madrid's PR was pushing heavily for Modric to win it. This is obviously a conspiracy, but I believe that Perez and Ronaldo's fallout was why he lost. Perez wanted a Madrid player to win the award, and the fact that FIFA doesn't like Ronaldo, it made the decision pretty easy. Then again, it could just be FIFA being biased against Ronaldo, but any one of these can be true. But go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and tell me what video you want next.